Hi, I'm Liam Dan. Welcome to the Economy Hub. Today, taking a look at Bitcoin, which is something I've probably avoided doing for the past few years because the technology scares me. But here to help me understand it a bit is Juha Saarinen, the Herald Tech writer.
Hi,
how is the best way for a non-techie person to think about Bitcoin and these cryptocurrencies?
Well, there are payment systems because there's actually no physical kind of notes or coins or anything like that. So it's a payment system which has a peer-to-peer network, and they exist, all the sort of units of the money exist in a database that everyone has access to, and you can see all the transactions which are recorded there, and then you can agree that, okay, this transaction is fine, we'll go ahead with it.
Yeah, that sounds like a sort of a software system for bartering, which sounds simple enough.
In a way, yeah. And you sort of agree, or basically at the exchanges you agree on the value of the Bitcoin as well. So it's like the outside. But yes, everyone participates in a big network, and you can see what they're doing, what they're buying, and follow that. It
gets complicated though, and I've tried to watch some dummies guides and things like that. It gets complicated because you've got these miners, and so the transactions have to be verified by a majority of
the network, at least 51%.
Yeah.
So they have to agree the entire network, and as Bitcoin gets larger and larger, this becomes more and more difficult. It takes longer time, and you need more space in the blockchain database, in the little, or the fields, the electronic fields that keep tracks of the records as well. So Bitcoin's run into some real performance problems at the moment, and they're trying to fix it with a software upgrade. But when you do a software upgrade as well, you break the original Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So you have a new coin. And second version. This is where normal people go, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to me, the problem in terms of scaling it up to become a widely used currency then seems like, well, you're going to have every transaction recorded in one giant chain. That's fine for a million transactions or a year or something. But if this was to be like dollars and to be, everything over 200 years of use and
small transactions, really minute ones, like maybe
a packet of chips or something.
Yeah, coffee, whatever.
Yeah. Do we have the computing power for that in this world?
I don't actually know the answer to that, but if I sort of look at the amount of, just like credit card networks, how much they process and stuff, and they need enormous resources to do that in a sensible way. I don't think Bitcoin was ever designed to scale to general use.
But yet it's being talked about now in those terms, and in terms of disrupting banking and things. Perhaps because of all the hype and speculation on the markets. So now worth more than $13,000 for a single Bitcoin.
The speculation has been quite insane, and that by itself tells you that this is not really suitable as a general purpose currency, because what would you do? So one day it's worth, let's say $13,000 or $7,000 and then the next day it might have dropped to $5,000. And let's say you paid in Bitcoin, your salary is paid in Bitcoin, and you just don't know from day to day how much you're actually on or what you're paying for food or anything like that.
Sorry, you're right. It's $7,000. The reason I said 13 was because overnight Zimbabwe, that's what it costs in Zimbabwe. And that was in my head. So that was something that was interesting to me because it's become a safe currency in a politically unstable environment like that. So it surged there.
So this is one of the attractions, is that there's absolutely no way to properly regulate Bitcoin or to stop it. You can stop its use, like you could say that it's a crime to exchange Bitcoin for New Zealand dollars or US dollars, Australian dollars. But there's actually no way to prevent people with computers from running the software on their computers and making Bitcoin and trading in Bitcoin. So this is why in Zimbabwe and other places, so there's no central authority around it. It's just a network that decides everything.
And so that's sort of what should be worrying the banks and the financial institutions.
Absolutely, they can't stop it, and there'll always be some way of using like Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies to get around the banking and finance network. I know it worries governments as well, because it is being used for money laundering, and obviously in a classic example, North Korea. North Korea are supposedly big Bitcoin traders, and they try to steal Bitcoin as well from people's wallets. Hacking into people's computers to steal the Bitcoin because...
and I imagine the Chinese government wouldn't be thrilled about it because they're trying to keep tight controls on their currency in and out of the countries.
Oh, absolutely, and that's Bitcoin is apparently one way to move money out of illicit and legal money out of China. because they've clamped down on it recently as well.
Is it, in your view, is it worth that much money? Is it a bubble at the moment, the market there?
Oh, I'd say it's a bubble. I mean, if it was, proper, useful currency, not subject to speculation, I think we'll see the sort of value build up more slowly over time. And then as people discover what we can do with it, and obviously improve the software design, which has a number of bugs at the moment, so it's slow, the performance is really slow. Then we could take it seriously.
Sure.
But if it jumps like that, then it makes it unusable for normal people.
Yeah, I mean, it strikes me that with a lot of technologies, we saw it with the internet and the bubble in the late 90s, is that the market gets ahead of itself. So we could actually go through a massive crash in this stuff, but it could still be a technology that changes the world over the next 100 years. Is that,
Yeah, there's the transparency of Bitcoin, in that you can see where money is going at any time. That's in the blockchain database. So that's hugely attractive to a number of applications, and not all of them to do with the currency or money as well. So you could have governments keeping track of supplies and everything else, and it could be really transparent. You can see where your money is being spent and everything. So that's kind of a new thing. But then there's how would you do that? And like you said, keeping track of all the little transactions.
Yeah.
So that's going to take a huge amount of resources and computing power and electricity.
So while this is fascinating stuff and certainly getting a lot of attention in the financial press and so on, it's not yet of a scale that is going to completely shake up the world economy, is it? I mean,
no, not really. I mean, what are the estimates? $150 billion in total, and that's all the cryptocurrencies, not just Bitcoin.
Sure. So if there was a major crash, it would be it would be something quite significant for the speculators, and maybe but 150 billion. It's big. It's like a big company going down, a big US company going down, but it's
much
not
of New Zealand's GDP.
So but in those terms, but it hasn't sort of seeped its way into the sort of fabric of the global economy yet.
No, it hasn't, and also because it is just too difficult to use, too difficult to understand. I can actually see some positive side effects of Bitcoin crashing, which is that like ransomware criminals, they will find it much harder to get paid. And North Korea, obviously, they might get into trouble with that. But
sure. But what could happen next, though? I mean, could someone come out with a Mark II or a Mark III, a version that just worked a lot better, and things could move more rapidly?
That's all already happening. So they've because with more users coming on board, Bitcoin performance has become really slow. It takes a very long time to verify the transactions, and sometimes it doesn't happen at all, which means that the currency will be useless. So there's a software upgrade now, which essentially will create, like I said, a new Bitcoin, and which will work much faster. And that by itself will probably lead to more use again, and maybe people will work out some of the bugbears around it as well, and actually make it more easier to understand and for normal people to use. Yeah.
So the good news is that most of us have got a bit of time up our sleeve to try and understand this stuff. Speculation-wise, it seems like it's currency trading times 100. It's just insane, the whole speculation going there. But if you think about it, if you want to take it to the logical extreme there, having a unit of currency that no one apart from everybody who's using can control, so there's no central authority around them. Yeah.
That by itself could be the foundations of a world currency, a universal currency that would make all other existing currencies useless. But for that to happen, we have to work out the trust, and people need to be able to understand sort of cryptocurrency, money as software, better.
Yeah, so it's not going away, but...
no, it's never going to go away.
Not time to panic yet.
Cat's out of the bag. There's no need to panic yet. Bitcoin can't exist without existing money.
Yeah.
Because by itself is useless. So you need to exchange it into normal money still. And I guess at some point, if it does happen that Bitcoin can stand on its own legs, and we'll just use it as one country, say maybe Estonia, because they're really into all that kind of stuff. maybe they just swap the euro for Bitcoin.
Yeah, yeah. But that is far future stuff.
That's far future stuff, and lots of things need to happen. Like we can't have a currency that's about 1,000 times less efficient than credit card networks.
Yeah, yeah.
This is completely pointless, and it just needs to be more trust in it. It needs to work much better.
Sure. Thanks, Juha. We'll leave it there.